There are a lot of game engines out there in the wild, so I want to test 3 game engines and see which one can make game fast, make it look good, and not make me want to destroy my PC. And so the engines I picked are Unreal Engine, Godot, and Unity. And for the game, I wanted to make the most basic thing to see how fast I can achieve the same look and the same feel. So I went with a 3D platformer. Yeah, I know, it's so original. Thank you. Anyway, the game will be like this. A platformer with movement left and right, jumping, duh, and traps and collectibles, and that's it. So let's start. Godot is an engine that is growing in popularity thanks to some companies doing some dumb decisions. Not wanting to mention any names. But anyway, Godot is great for 2D, 3D, and it uses node systems to manage scenes, and you can code with GDScript, C#, or even C++ if you're good at it though. So with the basics of Godot out of the way, time to build. I won't bore you with technical details, but I just made a bean character with a template code for third-person character controller and some adjustments to make it look like a 2.5D-ish platformer. I'm not trying to make the perfect platformer though, it just as a prototype. And to be honest, you gotta give it to Godot on how easy it is that you can set up a character controller, unlike other engines. Anyway, next I tried adding a model with some animations, and I found this nice witch model, but without any animations, so I went to Mixamo, I snapped some of them, and by the way, the assets I used are all linked down in the description, and also thanks to all the creators. Anyway, here where I got delayed. I don't know if it's me not knowing something, but I could not set up the animations together. Apparently I had to go to Blender and try some wizardy shit to put all the animations in one sheet. And I got really annoyed and I opted to use different animation players, which is not good to use and you should use animation tree instead. But I got frustrated, so I decided to keep it that way. With the animations working kinda, I started designing a level which was pretty easy to do. After that, I made some traps and some rotating traps, and to finish I added treasures to collect and an endpoint. And lastly, I played a bit with some post-processing and lighting, and this is the final result. And this prototype-ish game took me about 1 hour to make, which was pretty fast, and the engine as a whole is super fast to compile, unlike the next one. Unity. With Unity I have a love-hate relationship. I have used Unity a long time ago. And then at the start of this year, I wanted to try it again. And believe me, I felt like the engine doesn't like me or something. It just doesn't want to click with me. But enough ranting. Unity is the most popular game engine ever. And for a good reason. It's powerful, can handle 2D and 3D like a beast. What am I doing with my life? Uses C# as its language, and the community is great. So, time to test this beast. And same as Godot, I started with a bean and ground, and then I went to make character controller. And this is the part I hate the most. Unity character controller, or inputs in general, is just annoying to work with. You have way too many options, and all of them do the same thing. And it's shit to use for a fast prototype. But don't get me wrong, I know that you can use the old input system to make prototype fast. And also you can use the new input system to make also fast prototyping. But this is the problem I was talking about. Unity has way too many options, like just stick with one. Good and tested, and that's it. Why you need so many options? Why? Nonetheless, after a whole lot of time, I managed to make it work, and I added my character. The good thing about Unity is its animation system. It is super easy to set up, can get complicated, but it's doable. After that I built the level, traps, treasure, and the finish point and some UI, and this is the final result. Unity is still a beast of an engine, but I would say for making a fast prototype it is not simple or fast. And the loading and compiling time, man, don't get me started on that, please. Now we're gonna talk about another quality, another dimension of game engines. Unreal Engine is a future-rich monster, made for AAA games and movies, uses C++ and Blueprint as its main programming language, with massive technologies like Lumen and Nanite and much more. For me, I never touched Unreal Engine just because I didn't have a powerful PC to run it, but now I do, so I want to try it. This loading was my first time opening the engine, just to have a feel of it, and it took like 15 minutes to run. I was like, okay, maybe not, but the second time I created another project, it opens really fast. I mean faster than Unity even. I was in shock, not gonna lie. Anyway, the engine at first felt overwhelming, but after watching some tutorials, it really didn't look that scary. So it's time to start building the game. I went to the Fab store or whatever its name is to pick a character for the game, and I found this really nice dinosaur model, so it was really a no-brainer for me. And then I started making the character controller. I didn't want to use the templates that are provided by Unreal, I wanted to see how it's actually done. So after some tutorials and explanations, I managed to make the dinosaur move. For me, I like to write on keyboard, so something like Blender where you do shaders based on nodes, it's something I really didn't like. Also in Godot you have shaders and nodes, but Godot has shaders that you can code, which is something I really like to do. In Unreal you have C++, I am not doing any C++. So using the blueprint, it really changed my perspective. It was so easy and so intuitive to make a character up and running, jumping, moving. It was just a breeze. For a prototype, of course. But it can be very complicated after. But really, it's just amazing. I really love this. For the animation, if the character is set up correctly, you can set up the animation just like that. And I'm not gonna lie, it's very impressive. After I went and I got some assets to make the level, and here it happened, my first crash in all the engines. Maybe it's because I tried to import a very high quality model, but I don't know. It did crash again once more, but nonetheless I continued setting up everything. It was really a blast, and it was pretty easy and straightforward. The quality looked amazing without even using high quality models. It's just amazing. Well, I guess you're wondering which engine I would keep using. For Unity, I will not use that engine because of many things, and one of them is that I feel like I'm fighting the engine rather than working with the engine. So Unity is a no-no for me. Unreal is super great and impressive. I was shocked about how good it is, and I will use it if I was chasing high-end graphics with realistic look, and if I was working with an artist of that caliber, or I was one, but I'm not. So I wouldn't have the need for all that power. Maybe if I wanna make something impressive later on the road, but for now I really don't have a need for it. So that leaves us with Godot, which is the engine that I will keep using because it has a great support for 2D in 3D, fast and lightweight, and using it feel like home. It's open source, great, and growing community, and I can keep going on and on about it, but I guess you got the idea. So with that, I wish you enjoyed this video, and maybe I helped you also pick an engine for yourself. But always remember, use what you really are comfortable using. Do not keep switching engines, focus just on one. Okay, anyway, thank you for watching, see you in the next one.